The circle of fifths is a way of going through all 12 notes on the piano such that each note is a fifth lower than the previous one. Well, at this stage you're probably thinking two things. One, what exactly does that mean? And two, why do I need to know this? Well, if I answer the second question first, I'll just say that the circle of fifths has so many applications in music I can't even summarize them right now. So for the time being, just take it on trust that this won't take very long to learn and it'll be really useful really soon. Then the first question, what exactly does that mean? The circle of fifths is a way of going through all 12 notes on the piano such that each note is a fifth lower than the previous one. Well, first of all, let's just confirm that there are only 12 notes on the piano. Don't know if you ever counted them. If we start from C, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then we're back to C. So there are actually only 12 notes on the piano if we ignore the same note repeated in different octaves. And then what about the part about arranging them such that each one's a fifth lower than the previous one? Well, let's start from C, go down by fifths, and see what happens. I'm going to start with the very top C on the piano so I don't run out of notes. And if I go a fifth down from C, I get to F. So you need to know your fifths really well for this tutorial. Fifth down from F is B flat. Fifth down from B flat is E flat. Then you have A flat, D flat, F sharp, B, E, A, D, G, and finally C. So eventually we get back to where we started, which is C. Well, if we count those notes, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 notes before we get back to the first one. And all of them are different. So we actually just went through all of these 12 notes in such a way that each one was a fifth below the previous one. B flat's a fifth below F, E flat's a fifth below B flat, and so on. So that's the circle of fifths. It's a way of going through all 12 notes on the piano such that each one is a fifth lower than the previous one. However, it isn't very practical to play the circle of fifths, covering the whole keyboard. You might not have a full-size piano, and it's quite easy to lose track of where you are that way. So ideally we need a way of going through that sequence of notes, but squashing them up to within 1 or 2 octaves. And this is where it's useful knowing that going down a fifth is the same as going up by a fourth. Because if you go down a fifth from C, it takes you to F, but you can also get to F by going up a fourth, because a fourth is an inversion of a fifth. So instead of going just down by fifths, we can alternate between going up by fourths and down by fifths, and we'll get the same sequence of notes. So instead of going C, F, B flat, E flat, we can go C, up a fourth to F, B flat, up a fourth to E flat. So I'll just run that through so you can check it's the same sequence of notes. C, F, B flat, E flat, C, F, B flat, E flat. So we can play that whole sequence of notes covering the whole keyboard just by continuing this pattern of going up a fourth, down a fifth, up a fourth, down a fifth, up a fourth, down a fifth, and so on. So this is the circle of fifths that I'll want you to learn. Now before I get you to learn that, let me just point out a couple of things which will make it easier to play. First of all, it's easier if you split the notes between your two hands, and because you're never going to use this in a piece, you might as well just use your index fingers. It doesn't really matter what fingering you use. And then if you look at, let's say, just my left hand, you'll notice that my left hand is just going down a tone at a time. Now if you look at my right, my right hand is also just going down a tone at a time. So as long as you get the first two notes right, C going up a fourth to F, then all you need to do is take each hand down a tone at a time every time you play a new note. And there's one more thing I'll point out before you play this, which is notice that you start on white notes and then you switch to black notes, you stay on black notes, and then you go back to white notes at the end. And you switch when you hit F or F sharp. So here you hit F, so now you're going to switch from white to black. Here you have F sharp, and now you switch from black to white. So every time you hit an F or an F sharp in the circle of fifths, you change color. So your first exercise is to go and play through the circle of fifths, starting on C, then going up a fourth and down a fifth, and so on until you get back to C. Now once you've done that, you can learn it a different way. So instead of going up a fourth and then down a fifth, you can start on C but go down a fifth and up a fourth, down a fifth, up a fourth, and so on. So it's the same sequence of notes, C, F, B flat, E flat, but this time you're going to play C, F, B flat, E flat, and so on. So the same patterns will apply. Each hand is going to go down a tone at a time. And you're going to change color after F and after F sharp. Finally, once you can play a circle of fifths starting and finishing on C, both by going up and then down, and also by going down and then up, then try playing a circle of fifth on different notes. So instead of starting on C, start on A flat. Just remember, if you get the first two notes right, starting note and then up a fourth, after that your hands just move down a tone at a time. And the same rule of changing color after F and F sharp applies. So that's F sharp, change to white notes. That's F, so we change back to black notes. And as always, once you can do it up and then down, then go down and then up. So once you can start and finish on C, try starting and finishing on different notes on the keyboard, and then you'll really have mastered the circle of fifths.